welcome back to another excellent episode of the Film Alchemist podcast, the show where we take the movies we love, break them apart to find out what gives them their magic. I'm your host, Josh Griffey, joined as always by my friend, co-host, and just lame-ass toy maker,
Alex Dandino.
All right, before we continue the October Horror Mega Marathon, we just have so many words in there now. We're like a monster truck rally, essentially. 31 days, 31 pods. You guys know the deal. Before we do that, a little business. Everyone, it's official. We're on Patreon. Patreon.com/Film Alchemist Pod. The absolute best way to make this show exactly what you want and deserve. Your pleasures. Your pleasures. Open our box and feel our pleasures. If you want a movie every day this month for the full October marathon, you gotta go to Patreon. We have 2 Patreon exclusives and a feature-length commentary on 13 Ghosts, which we're very excited to drop on you guys. We have a great time over there. If you can, we appreciate the support. Every little bit helps out a lot. For those of you who do already, thank you. For those of you who are about to, thank you as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Film Alchemist. Email the show, filmalchemistpod@gmail.com. We're on all the socials you're on. We would appreciate follows and shares of all the stuff we're doing this month. Help fill it up. We're doing a lot of work, and we'd love to share it with as many people as possible, guys. Something else you can do that helps us out a ton, which is free and takes but a second. Leave those ratings and reviews wherever you find the show and everywhere you find the show. Help us defeat the algorithmic ancestors that cursed us before we ever had a chance. All right. Business done. Now it's time to the hard business of trapping the devil in Hellraiser 4 Bloodline. This was an infamous trend in horror movies at the time. The Goes to Space sequel. This one is not a fully in space movie, right? Because this is a space movie. We start off with space stations, spaceships, robots. We got all the classics of your sci-fi movie, but what we're really doing is we're telling a tale of our ancestors back. We're doing a period piece mixed with the fucking in-space sequel, and it is a hell of a mix, right? I actually think this movie is really clever in finding its areas to kind of fill in the mythology. Again, we're kind of back to this, Pinhead is not quite as unleashed as he was in the previous movie now that he's whole again. But he's actually far more sinister in this one, I think, than he has been in the previous entries. There's some extra teeth in Pinhead in this film. So I've always really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a really fun flick. Alex, opening thoughts on Bloodlines.
Well, 2 days ago, we were talking about how, the tragedy of Hellraiser 2 is that it overcomplicates things. Mm-hmm. What's nice about Hellraiser 4 is it's like the universe heard my pleas for a simpler film, and they're like, "But do you also want us to time jump?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Yeah. And
then you watch Hellraiser 3, you're like, "Not that simple." And they're like, "Gotcha."
A little more than so now we're right in the sweet spot of simplicity over technicality. I gotta be honest, it's a weird movie, and I did not expect it to start in space on the Minos, I believe.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I like stuff that will go back. Just like I said, the way I like the origin of Pinhead, I like stuff that goes back and kind of connects dots you didn't really see before. I think it's kind of fun, man. This is another great example of it just kind of going for broke.
Yeah, and I think when you're doing sequels, if you're going to keep doing the franchise, especially one like this that has all this iconography, right? It is fun to see filmmakers come in and be like, "Ooh, no one's done Puzzle Box yet. Let's go there." I thought that was really fun, man. So, yeah, we start off, right? These invaders are boarding the ship. They capture this guy after he's opening the puzzle box with a robot.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's just cool. It's like a fucking Wish.com Terminator.
Well, he's like absolving himself of
Yeah,
He's absolving himself.
Which is a cheat, because as we learned in Hellraiser 2, hands don't summon us, desires do. But he kind of knows, right? Because Pinhead busts out of the box, right? The robot blows up.
Yep.
And he's just like, demon, right? They kind of talk some shit. Long wait for such a short game. Next thing you know, he gets invaded by Wish.com, Gina Carano. Actually, Gina Carano's Wish.com, Gina Carano.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no...
And they start interrogating him, right? They're like, this fucking fancy space station, this famous guy, it's been offline, what the fuck? And he's like, let me tell you a yarn. He's like, don't worry about the fact...
yarn.
Don't worry about the fact that an interdimensional fucking sex demon is on the space station. I've got time.
We've got plenty of time to discuss a story of trial and tribulation from the 1700s.
Don't worry. The two-way investigation mirror is sex demon proof, I swear. Now let me tell you about great-great-great-grandpappy. And that's how we launch in, right? Pinhead's on a space station. The Marines are in. They catch him. Now we're going to go back. I fucking love this period of the film. If I had one complaint with the movie, and it's not really a big complaint, right? I think the time period where we first jump back to, right? This kind of I don't even know when this is, right? It's not the Renaissance.
I believe it's like late 1700s. Yeah.
In France or wherever, yeah.
Yeah.
And we jump back, right? Because there are people being like, poppycock, science, but then the main story is between a toy maker and a fucking magician. Who knew that when those two fucking powerhouses collided, the world would shake? But I like this, right? I liked watching just him design the puzzle box. I thought that was fun, right? It's a little titillating, like, oh, there it is. And then his wife's just kind of like, meh. He's like, damn it, I'll go to the I'll go to this guy's house. He'll like it. I'm La Marchand. You should respect me. So he goes over to the fucking magician's house. And this is where this part gets awesome. So essentially, he delivers his box. They send him on his way, right? They've captured this lady who seems to think she's there for sex stuff, right? Young Adam Scott playing, creepy little nephew.
Yep.
So the magician, they tie her up, right? It's like, oh, sex stuff. Yeah. Ooh, a feast. Opulent. Next thing you know, feast is rotten. We look up. Chains and hooks, right?
Yep,
kind of like, which came first, the fucking sex demon egg or the sex demon chicken? We don't know.
I thought the same thing. I was like, maybe these demons aren't as original as I thought they were.
Fucking, they're just in hell, and Leviathan's like, awesome, steal that branding.
That looks so cool. Please go get that.
That is dope. Steal that, please.
All right, that's my new favorite thing we've discovered is Leviathan, just like a bro in college who's just watching movies. That shit looks so dope. Go get it.
I'm just saying, if there's one person in these universes that's definitely a fuckboy, it's Leviathan. Like, for sure.
Yeah. Leviathan for sure would win F-Boy Island.
Yeah, he is Fuckboy Island, right? He's like, I'm the sand with which you fuck on. Never mind. Neither here nor there. They capture this lady, right? And he strangles her, right? Breaks her neck. And then we start, and I love the ritual of this, right? So they peel the skin. The toy maker's watching like a creep. Because no one complimented him on the box, right? He's like, hey, I made that. No one likes me. He's like that little elf in Rudolph, right? Who just wants to be a dentist. Neither here nor there. So they peel this lady's skin, right? Take her fucking flesh, right?
Yep.
The blood fills the floor. It lights, right? They're hanging the skin so that he can summon this thing.
Summon the demon. Yep.
And he captures the demon in this lady's skin.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
It's pretty cool, man.
This whole scene was great.
This whole sequence was, because when we flashed that far back, because my thought was like, we'll go 6 months before when someone found it the last time. I'm like, oh no, we're going all the way back. Yeah. That was really fucking cool. Because that was another thing we had only been in modern movies at this point. This was the first time we'd been way, way back. And I'm like, oh and shit,
way forward. Yeah.
There's some whips and chains action they might not realize.
Yeah.
What dost thou wrought iron come from?
It's hard because I always assumed people back then would be less horny because of the smells and the hygiene.
Yeah, deeply horny.
Dude, if people from our time went back, we could never have sex. So,
not at all.
The smells and the hygiene would be so overwhelming to our systems.
Everyone smells like spoiled fruit back then.
Yeah. So you're also, though, you're like, And they all wear like those fluffy fucking pants and all these clothes and shit. They're fucking powdered faces. It's just not a good thing, right? For sex stuff. Right. But they also have no electricity or TV. So it's like, that's all they have. They're like, well, it's either working hard or fucking sexually exploiting our bodies. But I just thought it was an awesome scene, right? And they get to this thing, right? Where essentially he's saying, demons will walk among us now. A summoned demon is yours to control unless you stay out of the way of hell. This movie essentially does like we have gremlin rules, don't fucking break them.
Right. Don't feed them after midnight, yeah.
Yeah, and it's fucking rad, man. It's a really cool scene. The next time we see them, right, we see the magician has just been fucking gotten, right? He got held up. And then, because the puzzle maker's going to steal his box back, right? Whatever.
Right, yeah.
And then we're like, so the uncle got, and Angelique is just fucking pounding Adam Scott.
Yeah, takes Adam Scott for a ride.
Yeah, the magic he's in control is blood, sex, sugar magic, apparently. Yeah. Right? And so,
very much so.
Though the way he fucking wantonly just cast aside his magician uncle. And he's like, there's only one portal I'm interested in, Unc. And that's just what we do, right? Because, that's also, we forgot the scene, right? He goes and talks to his scientist friend who's just like, poppycock, you idiot. And he's like, obviously, science. He's like, build a trap for the demons, right? So this is kind of the cat and mouse of the movie. But right. I don't know about you, man, but I thought this scene was exquisitely, as they say later, exquisitely Hellraiser, right?
Yeah.
It felt different. There's no Pinhead or Cenobites. The box is barely a part of this ritual. I still don't understand why they needed the box, because they don't seemingly use it.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of tendencies, like, because Pinhead is so iconic. It's the same thing, like, why would you have a Freddy movie without Freddy? Why would you have a Jason movie without Jason?
Yep.
Like, but I think what sets them apart is, like, we know the history of both those characters without needing to go back. Like, again, this is the advantage of the first movie just being out like a shot. You're like, all right, I have no idea what these fucking people are here for. Mm-hmm. You can take your time, man. You can make those kinds of things. So, like, it doesn't have to turn into that chicken or the egg story that I think a lot of the time probably this movie gets maybe tagged for like no reason other than just like, it's not everybody's favorite movie. But I mean, I think
it's trying to juggle a lot of balls at one time.
Like this sequence does a lot of work, and I mean, awesome. for being in a Hellraiser movie, again, I mean, did you ever think like I can safely say I never expected to watch a Hellraiser movie taking place in the 1700s, so that was cool.
That scene is amazing. Yeah, that's just awesome. A great horror movie scene.
Yeah, totally.
And what it sets us up for, this is something I was going to get your opinion on, right? Because this is your whole Bloodline's curse. Because you guys summoned the demon for your part in this. Now you're, going to pay till the end of time, whatever, right? Do you, like me, I kind of wish they would have kept it in this time period. I thought they had a real good setup here, and I'm not sure the jump to, like, the 90s timeline was super.
It's funny
it did show this, like, carrying on of the curse, but I thought that setup in France was fucking ripe.
Yeah, I actually was really upset when we shifted to, like, the 90s. Like, I was like, guys, who gives a shit? Haven't we already done this?
We're doing Barry Lyndon and 2001.
Yeah. So we're going to do Barry Lyndon and 2001. We do not need to see Eyes Wide Shut. We get it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess in this context,
that would be a great title for a Hellraiser sequel.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I do want to see an Eyes Wide Shut with the Hellraiser people. Damn it. But no, I thought we were going to spend a lot more time in the past, and I really liked the yarn we were spending because I forgot it was a fucking yarn where apparently, again, Pinhead does not go beyond the two-way glass, so he figured,
he's just
he respects.
Well, I appreciate narrative structure. I'm not going to interrupt.
Not only do I enjoy ultimate pleasures, I watch a lot of SVU.
I too am an artiste. I understand how hard it is to put yourself out there. It's really cute. I think my problem with it is I'm like, if we're doing the cursed lineage, I'd almost rather it had been like 3 to 5 really short segments that jumped us a lot.
Yeah.
There's like this rule of threes thing. That
Oh,
feels,
so you're saying like maybe more of an anthology type thing?
Yeah, because I mean that's what it feels like, right? Because I know someone will say, well, rules of three, right? Space, modern time, and France. The space is not part of that, right? If we're gonna jump, I'm like, do France, right? Do World War II, do fucking, Prohibition, do whatever. Like, jump us a lot, man. Let's see what's up. I think we could have done a couple more segments because the 90s segment it
falls very flat for me. And to be honest with you, you could have done this in the like future segments or literally just kept it.
Well, the thing is, it matters. The human story, right? The toy maker in the first one initiates what we're doing. And his like, oh, fuck, I got. Like, I blew it. The toy maker in this one is just a guy who has nightmares and is designing a room to capture light, right? Because his mom told him some scary tales.
Right. Well, and that's like bit.
This part falls apart fast because we've got like four things happening, right? So he's a family man who feels like he's cursed and has nightmares. He's building this box while he's like an award-winning toy maker. The princess has to come over to get him in the box to stop the bloodline, but also seemingly wants to just hook up with him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Pinhead comes in and he's like, God damn it, princess, temptations. And it's like, wait, like we're just doing a lot of shit right now, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of bits going on. I mean, like...
A lot of bits.
I think this is the other thing, too, because... So, like, it's like the anti-life equation, this other box. What's it called? The Elysium something?
Yeah, it's like a Elysium configuration, right? It traps lights and that'll melt.
Yeah, so like there's this thread, and again, like I don't see the point in 1996 other than just like pointing out that it's survived the time. I think I would have just jumped back to 2127.
Well,
I really don't.
The other thing, because this segment has this awesome reveal, right? Where Pinhead comes out. Now he's just like awoken because he's just like, I'm here now.
Yeah, now he's just around.
Yeah, he just is like, all of a sudden he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just get this fucking philanderer, this lawn mowing philanderer, right? I'm going to fucking clamp his nips because the princess was trying to hook up with him. So he's not even like bound to the box. He's just showing up whenever the fuck. Oh, no. Because they do introduce the box, and that's how he comes back, right?
Right.
But they have this great reveal where he comes out and he's just like, princess. And you're like, oh, fuck. The princess of hell was foisted into his skin, has lived on Earth as a sex servant for Adam Scott, who she got.
Right.
And so now Pinhead's like, things have changed, right? And you're like, is this a power struggle? Does he want the princess back?
Right. We're getting into some really weird bureaucracy in 1996 that, like, kind of. Again, this goes back to what I said yesterday. Like, man, the rules and laws of Cenobite life are just kind of crazy.
Hey,
and
Sergeant whatever in the last one said, even hell has its commandments. They just don't want us to know what they are.
It's a really fascinating thing to watch. Because, like, again, I didn't think about this until after I finished watching. It was like, oh, shit, when Angelique first, like, discovered this whole thing, there was no Pinhead.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Pinhead wasn't around till, what, like, the 30s, the 20s, or 30s or something like that?
I didn't know what war he was from, right? It almost was like, was he like a British guy taking over India?
I think I assumed it was World War I.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he had the very foofy military pants.
But he even talks about, he's like, things have changed. It's a lot more ordered and a lot less fun. And we're like, oh, dude, so now we're doing this whole, like, who's the head demon in charge, or she is, and I'm going to get you back. Are we going to get revenge? And then it just kind of peters out, and we just see Pinhead talking to a bird. He's like, I grew tired of the princess. It's like, what? Yeah. Like, that seemed like a really cool element to drop in the film. By the end of the film, she's literally just like the third corner Cenobite.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be, like a power struggle thing, which would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And it does end up being sort of this just like, it's so funny you bring up that bird, because I was just like, was this dropped from Castaway? This must have been like where he's like talking to Wilson the volleyball.
Yeah, Pinhead just loves John Woo movies. I mean, they're pretty cool. Like if you like kicking flesh, it's a pretty good time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was really hoping that the Angelique thing would have kind of paid off better.
Because she's like, feels like she's in love with this human she's supposed to destroy. Pinhead's pushing her. And you're like, all right, she's this ultimately powerful princess of hell. No magic's controlling her anymore. This could be really fucking fun. Yeah, that never manifested, and I think that's a bummer, because when they said that, I thought that was really fucking cool. I'm like, this is a great angle.
And I thought that's what was setting off, like, the back half of the movie. Like, oh, shit.
Yes.
Because, like,
I thought that
I can't remember what time when that happens, but, like, this movie's only 85 minutes long. Like, we do not have a lot of time in this film. It is
fucking fly. Yeah, 3 timelines in 85 minutes.
Yeah, I agree, though. Like, I think there is this, like, sort of missed opportunity because, like, I want to know more. Again, like these movies never don't pique my curiosity. Mm-hmm. Not from the ways that like Dr. Sherrod and or Julia, how do you say it? Yeah. Julia, Kirsty, like not their form of curiosity, but what I'm always curious, like whenever we come back, we do learn a little extra about these Cenobites and the politicking that goes on. It is a really interesting thing, and I think I'm always disappointed when we don't get to spend more time dealing with that. Because in that regard, like the reveal of what they really are, because like in 2, you just figure out, okay, well they're human at one point. Like I don't really know,
right?
Like it is this really fascinating thing of like, okay, but what about everyone else? Like the princess of, if this is a princess of hell, is she human? Is she like, something else entirely? Is she the fucking Leviathan?
Yeah. Does Leviathan have a dong and or vagina with which to make actual demons? And then, because Pinhead only adopted the doc. You know what I mean? So it's like, that seems like an awesome fucking place to explore.
Totally. Absolutely.
That seems amazing. And then, by the end, she's just like, haha, I'm a trick mirror. And decapitates a guy. And that's her, like, contribution to the movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I will say, this is the thing, though. You hear Pinhead, right? These 2 security twins find him.
Fuck, like, that is so sweet.
Pain, how dare you say that word? Pain has a face, and it is me. And you're like, yep, that's it. Like, if I get a scene like that, I'll always watch a Hellraiser movie. That shit's awesome. And then, twist their, like, they have, like, a half an Iron Maiden. Their face are getting twisted. You're like, yep, love all this. Fucking awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
I do like that their power at the end when they kill the Marine on the ship is essentially they do demonic Night at the Roxbury and just melt that guy between them. I thought that was cool. But that's what I mean. There's always cool. I will say, though, there's this little bit tucked in here, right? When he's like, I've had it with the Hell Priest, right? I'm going to force this game. When he says, I've always heard the greatest suffering is a parent losing a child. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck? We cut to this kid with the erector set, and I was like...
Was not prepared for that one.
Yeah, because I was like, no. I was like, Hellraiser feels unsafe. Like, no. And there's that bit, right, where she hears, Mommy. She comes running out. She goes down these stairs. And she's like, little Timmy, whatever the fuck his name is. And he's like, Mommy, he won't let me come. Right?
Also, it's that kid who was like in every movie in the 90s.
Yeah, every little show or whatever. There were like 2 kids, right? My daddy's a gynecologist from fucking
that kid
Kindergarten
and this
Cop
guy.
and this kid. We're like always in everything. But he says he won't let me come. Pinhead sneaks out and like puts his hand on the kid.
Ugh.
And you're so fucking scared. And then at the end, he's got his hands on his shoulders and like brushes his hand, like brushing his hair. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm telling you, in 3 movies, you're like, that's probably the most spine-chilling thing I've seen Pinhead do.
Yeah. I think it's when it's like
he's
the
just
gentler...
like, what taste I could cultivate in him. It's like...
I think that's the thing that's always so fascinating about Pinhead in these movies is like, I don't get freaked out when the flesh is corrupted and that kind of shit. It is all about dread. And like, to me, that's what makes this character so iconic is like, it's not that he does these things, it's that he's capable of them. And you look at him too and you're like, that's always the thing that I think is really impressive about the Cenobite design is you're just like, they're capable of anything because they're willing to do that to themselves. Like that was what they want. They wanted that.
And again, they don't have to run. They don't have to swing a machete.
No.
They don't have to get kicked in the dick or punched in the face.
They just
stand there, and they're like, at the end of every human labyrinth, there is only pain.
Yeah.
And that's where I just drop bucket loads of nut because I'm so happy to be here. And you're just like, oh, shit. Because I used to be a bouncer, right, in college in my early 20s. And it was always like the bouncer's worst fear is the guy who's like, there are a lot of guys who want to fight, right? They think they're tough, right? But they kind of do like, all right, put them up. Meet me outside.
Right.
Every now and again, you see that guy. And you're like, oh, that guy's fucking insane. Like, that guy will shut his brain off and be like, if I kill you in the next 5 minutes, I kill you. I won't think of the consequences. Because all of us, when you're, like, in a fight, you're like, all right, we'll, like, punch each other a little bit. I want to win. But the guy who's like, I'll fucking bite your nuts off. I'll break your kneecap. You know what I mean? I'll chew on your face. I'll strangle you to death, crack your head on the concrete, and then be like, oh, what? I'm going to jail? It was self-defense, bro. It was a fight. Like, you know those guys. Everyone's seen at least one of those guys, and you felt the deep down, like, oh, they're different. Like, they're willing to go there. The Cenobites are like the exponential formula of that, right? And I just think it's cool. The Chatter Dog's fun. You know, the, like, running around and battling. That's all fun, right?
I'll tell you the thing that I liked the most about this.
But that scene with the kid, I mean, that is truly what a good horror movie.
That's some haunting shit.
Because we're both dads, and you're just like, imagine.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, you find out Amy or Andrea have been playing with fucking diddle
You know what's
boxes,
ironic, too, is like...
and that's what we see.
What's ironic, too, is like, we just had like a rough day with the kid. Like, it was a pain in the ass, and he was just like such a little shit. And, yeah, watching this today, was like... because, again, it was just like... It was just one of those days. But, yeah, like, it is... When you're a parent, it does... I didn't think it would affect me the way it has, as far as, like, watching movies like this and being a parent now. But, like, it is a very, very specific, like, shift in my personality. Yeah. Like, where, like, there's stuff that just hits very differently now. Like, and not just, like, Pixar and all the usual shit, but stuff like this that is, like, nothing to do with
Pixar's Hellraiser is a movie I would sell my soul for.
Yes. I would absolutely undo the lament configuration.
I would lift my shirt up and be like, put the hooks in, baby. I want to see that movie. In 2.5 hours, you can explore my ample flesh.
Yeah. See, like, that would be the thing. I'd be like, hey, guys, I don't need the nipple clamps, but
yeah,
what do you think about possibly making a movie with Pixar?
Yeah.
Nipple clamp those guys. No.
I would. But see, yeah, and that's kind of the last, like, really great moment of the movie, right? Because then we do I want to use your machine to make a pathway, even though your machine was a light box trap, whatever. We do our classic, you know, shooting the box at people, Ghostbustering them in. Angelique and Pinhead are brought back. We cut to the spaceship, right? You know, I don't believe in hell, but it believes in you. This bit.
Well,
and then we have these fun shenanigans of fucking slaughtering Marines.
Yeah. I will say this, and this is like the thing that I liked, and I didn't see it necessarily coming because I wasn't paying attention, and I was really just like, oh my god, let's get to more of these flesh. But the part that I really did like the reveal that the spaceship is essentially like the final form.
That
for this,
was
like,
awesome, dude. The giant cube.
I thought it was cool as hell, man.
That was fun, man.
Like, is that a thing that people don't like? I thought that was fun.
I think people they think it's a little beneath. Again, I think Hellraiser suffers because the first two movies are just dense. They have this epic score, these wonderful kind of stoic villains. Yeah. And now we're getting into the trenches, right? The kind of, or the gutters, I guess, as it were. I honestly thought it was fucking fun, man. The dog getting blown up, the head getting cut off in the mirror, the night at the Roxbury death. You know, thank God for men of reason. It's all good, man. Pinhead looking at Earth from a spaceship and just going, the Garden of Eden, a garden of flesh. Yeah. You're like, yeah, fuck. This is how I watch Hellraiser, so maybe it's me. I watch Hellraiser like people watch Marvel movies, right? When I watch those and I'm like, this does it for you guys? And they're like, yeah, because that one moment. And I'm like, oh, I understand, because that's how I watch Hellraiser, right? Him just going,
Right.
God in a flesh. You're like, yeah, that's it.
See, my one moment was literally like, welcome to Oblivion. Amen.
Okay. So, because that's what he's doing. They're like, I'm so exquisitely empty. And he's like, I cannot die. That fucking scene at the end, right? Because somehow, I still don't know how this works. He lights a trap that shoots around the box, but not in the box. But Pinhead is like thrown back and getting melted, right?
Right, yeah.
It's fucking awesome. His face is melting. He's like,
half his face is gone, yeah.
When he says, welcome to Oblivion, and Pinhead says, amen.
Amen.
And there's a moment, if you go back and watch that, it looks like he's enjoying it.
Oh, yeah,
because
totally.
hell has gotten less exciting since the princess was gone. I think this is a moment where, for the first time in a long time, he's really felt this kind of crushing negging that he had. Because he's always he hasn't been the sub in decades. Centuries, he hasn't been a sub.
Right.
So now I think he's like, yeah, daddy, burn me.
Yeah.
I think there's some kind of, what is the perverse pleasure he's taking in that moment?
I mean, isn't like the ultimate, if you're unable to distinguish between pleasure and pain anymore, isn't the ultimate pleasure then total disintegration, essentially?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like he's hit this weird like nirvana. He's like, there's so many holes I can put in my buttocks.
Right,
and
yeah.
nipples.
He's literally like, he's excreting one last nut as he enters Oblivion.
That's what those little things were floating around the ship. Just zero gravity hell nuts. He's like, ah. No, I found this perverseness, right? Because there's this kind of sadisticness to him with that kid and the moments and Angelique. And I was like, there's just some, it almost just feels like he's like, this is my crew now. Like I had this dope crew of friends, right? And we were like doing our shit until Kirsty Cotton blew it.
Yeah.
And
he's like dealing with like, he's like, it's like all of Ocean's 11 bailed, and he's like, oh, great, these guys. He
got back to hell with Angelique, and he's like, God, I thought you'd pep this place up, but you're just like another lady with her head peeled back. You don't even have the cigarette for burns in this one. And he's like, this is just not the hell I thought it would be.
I can't even see your trachea from here. Like, what is the point of all this?
Yeah. What do you bring to this, Angelique?
What are you bringing to the table, Angelique?
I'm just going to say it. Your effort level can Angelique my balls. That's what you're not even trying. Because that's when he's like, I can smell the stench of your true beauty. And I was like, that's it? That's what the fucking Princess of the Labyrinth looks like?
She's too hot? Great.
I mean, she was. Now she's just like another. We got a real neck thing in hell.
Yeah, a lot of neck stuff.
It's like they're just like, God, that's so cool when smokers get trach rings. And then Leviathan's like, steal that branding, bro. They're just really saying Leviathan and Hex.
There it is, ultimate pleasure.
I think that is dope. Steal it. My own daughter, steal it. King fuckboy out. And he just turns back into the fuck. No, I don't. I think there's like a sweet relief, right? And I don't know if audiences were feeling it too. Like, all right, we fucking hit the end of our Pinhead road. I don't know that at this point people were like, oh, we got like 6, 7 more of these fucking movies in us. But god damn it, we do. I don't know. At the end, I was just like, it did what I wanted out of a Hellraiser sequel. Again, we get this scary in-charge Pinhead. And we get that fucking demon summoning scene. We get Pinhead fucking rubbing that kid's hair scene. And we get spaceship stuff. I was like, we got to see the box get made. I was like, so this movie, while clunky for sure, under interrogation, I could not hold up that this movie's not clunky. But it gives me, again, this is the 4th one I've seen, man. What I'm looking for as we go on, just give me those tastes, right? A little bit of new, a little bit of the stuff I love, right? Give me the VHS cover and a couple things I didn't expect to see. And again, I'm telling you, just that summoning scene in Pinhead with that kid, that's worth the whole fucking movie to me. So I think this movie's better than people give it credit for. I don't think it's just it's the shitty in-space one. And also, I will say, I actually like the in-space sequels. I love Leprechaun in Space. I like this movie. I fucking love Jason X. I think space is a great place for fucking horror movies to occur.
I think this kind of nails it. I mean, space is they paid off the space in a way that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
I appreciated that.
Yeah, I thought that final image, you're like, that's classic, like, just straight to fucking VHS awesomeness. The space station is the cube. That's fucking cool, man. That's it for Hellraiser Bloodlines. The family curse is over. Maybe. We'll be back tomorrow because you guys know the deal. 31 days, 31 pods. There's no month we love more than October. We love our horror marathon. So tomorrow we'll be back with Hellraiser 5 Inferno. Another one I'm excited to talk about. So guys, if you want to have a movie to discuss with us every day this month, and we hope that you do, open the box and enter the labyrinth of our Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/filmalchemistpod. Exclusives over there. The full-length feature commentary on 13 Ghosts. You get a vote on movies. You get to pick movies you want us to talk about. Miniseries, all kinds of fun stuff over there. We appreciate all the support, guys. It means the world to us. So thank you for those of you who are already doing it. Thank you if you're about to. The YouTube Film Alchemist. The email filmalchemistpod@gmail.com. Make sure you leave those rating and reviews too, guys. That's another way to help break this family curse. These algorithmic curses, goddammit. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to be plowing our way through Hellraiser. Well, that's a little on the nose for this series. Plowing our way through Hellraiser. So we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you for joining us. For the Film Alchemist, I'm Josh Griffey.
I'm Alex D'Antino.